Welcome to Girl Dad Nation. In this bonus episode, I welcome back Richard Franklin to share his awesome story about being a recipient of a kidney donation.
Girl Dad.
Richard, welcome back to the show.
Nice to be here again.
It was awesome chatting with you earlier just about your journey in fatherhood, raising Missy Franklin, and how she was this amazing Olympic athlete and now a mom, philanthropist, advocate, and still doing amazing things. And now being a granddad to an amazing granddaughter. But not too long ago, I saw a story just about how you were experiencing kidney failure and looking for a kidney donor. So do you mind if we, just get some of that story? Because, I'd love to hear from your perspective, just everything that happened at that time.
Sure, I don't mind at all. I mean, in fact, I get a lot of requests to do this, and because, quite frankly, the story needs to be told. Most Americans are not up to speed on the fact that there's 100,000 people right now waiting for a kidney. They're on dialysis. You know, they go to a machine every other day and they're hooked up for 4 hours. You know, then so you take the ride there, getting hooked up, the 4 hours, getting unhooked, and the ride home.
Wow.
Every other day, every other day, every other day. I mean, it's keeping them alive, if you call that living.
Yeah.
And it's just tragic that 100,000 people are waiting for a kidney. And at the same time, a very small percentage of kidneys are getting to those people because of various reasons, systems, medical reasons, transportation, communications, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I could go on for hours about why it's not working, but it needs to improve. So in my case, it was genetic, so I didn't do anything right or wrong. In fact, myself and my brother Doug and my sister Deb all had it, and we all ended up getting kidney transplants over the last 3 years. And in my case, I didn't have to do dialysis. My kidneys were failing, but for me, it was at a much later age. I just hung in there longer. My kidneys hung in there longer. My sister Deb, she had her kidneys replaced at 60. I had mine replaced at 76. So, I mean, I really shouldn't have been alive that long with the kidneys, the way they were. So, I was very fortunate, but I wasn't, I considering my life and everything I've done, I was pretty objective about the whole thing. And I wasn't going to go out and I wasn't going to advertise. I wasn't going to market, I wasn't going to do anything on social media. And the doctors kept asking me, do you have a donor? Do you have a donor? No. Are you going to get a donor? We'll see. We'll see. In other words, if there's a cadaver kidney, and this is what happened to my brother Doug, there's a cadaver kidney and he or she matches everything that I'm required to have, then give me a call, and we'll get together and make it happen. And but I wasn't going to go out and actually start. And then one thing led to another, and it got more serious and more serious. And the reality was becoming, they were just ready to put me on dialysis. And my wife decided to put out an alert on social media, on Facebook. just telling people, what was going on, that we needed their help. And that was it. And it blew up. It absolutely just blew up. And we all started getting the hospitals started indicating, hey, they're getting people calling in. I think the end numbers were over 35 people. And I think there's like the first out of I think we were like 17 rejections before we finally got a match.
Yeah.
And then when they told us that we had a match, and we said who, they said anonymous. Okay, fine. And then about a month before surgery, they said to us, well, they're willing to come clean. They want you to know. And lo and behold, it turned out to be Chrissy Perham, gold medalist swimmer, Barcelona. Amazing coincidence, but not so much when you think that the swimming world is a small world. And my wife put out this appeal, and it was for Missy. It wasn't for me. Nobody knows me. Right? It was for Missy Franklin's dad. Right. I mean, they said Dick Franklin, who the hell's he, right? But Missy Franklin's dad. Next thing you know, I got all these wonderful people, and Chrissy was the first one that got accepted. Everything was right, blood type, all those things. And so the very first time I met Chrissy was when we were put on the gurneys, both of us going into the operating room. And that, it's a wonderful story. And Chrissy will always be a huge part of my life. Actually, she's right here, right down here in this corner.
Yeah.
we call that kidney Olympia.
Yeah.
So she's wonderful, and she's like 52 now, but such a selfless act. And we're always sending her pictures because her motivation was it's a small world, swimming world's connected, and I love Missy, and I want Mr. Franklin to live another umpteen years so he can watch Kate grow up, or not entirely grow up, at least grow up a little bit, maybe even watch her win a race. And I want to do this. And she has 2 sons and a husband, and they all said, we'll support you. And away they went. And my one concern, still to this day, is I don't want anything to happen to Chrissy. I'm in my 70s. She's in her 50s. I said I would never forgive myself if she gave me a kidney and then got sick, 5 years from now or 10 years from now prematurely. And I wouldn't be able to live with myself. And the doctors, I spent sociologists, psychologists, doctors, all of listen, we don't approve these things unless we know 2 things. Number one, it's the right thing for the recipient. Number one, it's the right thing for the donor, and there is 0 risks. And to this day, I mean, I've become a firm believer in that. In fact, in Colorado, just 2 years ago, there were like, I want to say 28 or 30 Coloradans, kidney donors, all with their pictures taken together at the top of Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa. And the message was to people generally that, look at us, we gave a kidney and we're healthy. And guess what? We just kicked Kilimanjaro's ass. Right? I mean, and Chrissy she just did a swim thing for kidney disease down in Key Largo in the Florida Keys. She's a runner. She's a tracker. Uh, she's just robust as you can imagine. And she hasn't, in fact, 2 days after surgery, she was out of the hospital and driving back to Albuquerque. And she's never looked back. She's just healthy. We've seen her a number of times since then. I was in Denver just 3 weeks ago on September 29th, and we were in the DaVita building, and the National Transplant Foundation was holding a fundraiser, and they honored Chrissy that evening. And Channel 9 was there. Kim from Channel 9 was there, and they asked me to fly in and speak too. It was a wonderful event. So far so good. It's all working out, and I'm still around to see tomorrow's sunshine and go over and visit Kate. So I'm forever grateful.
That's great to hear, and such an amazing story too. And just all the things that kind of have to happen. Like you said, it's not only do you have to have a willing donor, but then it's got to be a match. And then the fact that she's this Olympic swimmer too, is just an amazing thing that all just kind of came into place. But as you were telling that story, it seemed like you were kind of at a place, like you kind of found out the news into your 70s, and it seems like you were kind of in a place where you were sort of like content with just whatever happened. Like you said, not actively looking
Yeah,
for a donor.
yeah.
But
Maybe my brother had something to do with that too, because he lives in Florida, and he had two attempts. The first attempt didn't work. Something was wrong with the kidney. He got up at 4 o'clock in the morning. He got an urgent phone call, and got in the car and rushed to the hospital, because you only have so much
yeah,
lifespan in a kidney when it's after the body is gone, right? After the person has died. I think it's only 24 hours. So you got to have the match. You got to have all that figured out, and then be able to get the two of them together.
yeah,
That's one of the issues with cadavers, right? So he went through that, and I don't know whether that really influenced me as much as, you know what, I've lived a life of five guys, um,
yeah.
and I don't want to hurt anybody else on the way out. Period. And then my wife took over, and Missy took over, and what can I do but sit back and enjoy the ride?
Well, yeah, it's an amazing thing that just like the women in your life care for you so much, and it's great too just to see now, with the donor, like just you being able to enjoy your retirement and time with your granddaughter, and yeah, just
Exactly.
hope that
Exactly.
there's so many more things that you'll still be able to enjoy.
I'm hoping so. Yeah, absolutely.
Richard, thank you so much. I really appreciate this time. Do you
You're
know,
welcome.
just for people wanting to learn more about like the opportunity to donate a kidney or more about kidney research and all that kind of stuff, where would you send people?
Oh, there's so many. Just Google it. There's the National Kidney Foundation. There's the National Transplant Foundation, National Kidney Society. I mean, any one of there's the PKD, which is the disease we had. It's called polycystic kidney disease. The PKD Society. I mean, Google will give you a list of multiple, but National Kidney Foundation is a good place to start.
Awesome. Thank you. And I'll link to those in the description for people to check out. And thank you so much for all of my listeners. Please like and subscribe, leave a review on Apple Podcasts for Girl Dad Nation. And until next time, go be a dad.
Gada is it. After you die.